What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing 1 hour farming at Witherbark Village. The idea behind these grinding sessions are to maybe get ahead of your questing route. Maybe you feel like you ran out of quests and you're just killing yellow level mobs. Maybe you're playing a warrior class and you want to be fighting green stuff. Regardless, you've got to grind at some point in this game. And so we're picking out a bunch of different grinding spots. I'd like to see how good this one is, why it's so beneficial, and we're going to hang out and grind for an hour. So I'm starting out at 36 gold, 44 silver. I do have fishing and skinning. I don't think we're going to benefit from it here at all. Maybe there's some fishing pools right here that we can take a look at. But I doubt we're going to be fishing very much. So we'll go ahead and make our inventory even smaller. Get stamina and protection scrolls. I do have one of each health pot, but I'm expecting to find potions, cloth, and just a bunch of gray items. If you are playing solo found with hardcore, there's always an opportunity to get some greens if you're just doing grinding sessions, which is really nice. And there is 1 or 2 rares in this place. The Mar, the Slayer's on the outside, and there's a rare spot on the inside. But the Mar is really the one that we want to find. So, yeah, man, let's get started and start killing some of these trolls. I think the trolls are level 32 to 35 outside of here. Oh, hang on. My action bars keep getting messed up here. Let's get these fixed before we get started. I'll go cat form at number 7 and cat form number 6. Alright, let's do this. Let the hour begin. Depending on what class you're playing, there's definitely some levels that are probably better to grind than others. If you're playing melee, if you're going to grind for 1 hour session, you really do want to grind green mobs, or at least mobs that are 1 or 2 levels below you, even if they are yellow. You don't really want to fight mobs that are at level. Just because of the way melee works. You always want to be a couple higher levels than the mob that you're fighting if you're going to grind for a long session. So depending on what level you are should definitely affect where you decide to farm. But I'm level 35 on this feral druid. There's a rare spawn. He has like a 10% chance to drop a really good blue cloak. And if you spend a couple hours farming here, I think he has an 8-hour respawn. So technically you could get him every 3 days or so. Or 3 times a day, rather. But as you can see, we're picking up some silk cloth pieces already. Maybe these witch doctors are a little problematic with a healing ward. Just because my combo points fall off whenever I tab over. I think this is still better, actually. Saving all my points. Oh, he drops 2 healing wards? That's weird. Might as well just save my energy now. But yeah, I really like Feral Druid. Maybe a class that would be kind of awkward to farm for an hour. Fire and Frost Mage is fine if I'm playing single target. If you're playing a mage, though, and you really want to get crazy with farming, you'd probably AoE farm. I feel like some of the caster classes don't really benefit from this either. I mean, sometimes there's some areas where you just need to grind, regardless of what class you are. You're never going to make it to 60 doing quests. I know in the level 44 to 47 range for Alliance, there's like 0 quests, right? If you don't do a couple dungeons, a couple Ultimans, a couple ZFs, I don't care if you're a mage, a priest, a lock, you got to grind no matter what. But especially in hardcore, I really do feel like the melee struggle, you know, so they really benefit from these long grinding sessions. Excuse me. So we're gonna try out, see how good this grinding spot is. See what it ends up feeling like. I think we're fighting 3 different types of mobs. We're fighting axe throwers that have this wither touch debuff. Headhunters, that actually have execute. That's kind of scary, actually. And then witch doctors. I am doing this off stream. I normally do these grinding sessions on stream, but it's kind of nice. We're waiting for the PTR right now. And I figured it'd be fun to do one of these grinding sessions off stream. Just to get a feel for what it's like. I don't have to do everything on stream all the time. But there's so many camps here. If I was like level 40 and all these mobs were still green, I might be able to just get through here. Struggling with respawns. I think if I have this place to myself, you're never going to struggle with respawns, which I think is one of the best things about... it's the most important thing to figure out whenever you're doing grind spots, is to grind in an area that you're never going to have downtime. Especially on Druid, my self-heals, I don't think I'm going to struggle here. By just being in with downtime. You'll see by the time I need a heal, my mana is pretty much at full by the time we get done with it. There we go, there's our first gray item. I don't think that... do beasts have... I think that all mobs could drop a hefty war axe. Like if I was farming raptors right now, it's not like humanoids have this gray drop any more often. Is that anything else, right? I don't think so. Ooh, there we go. We got another back-to-back gray items. That's really nice. So in 2 mobs, we just made like 70 silver. Not bad. Oh, and I got a lesser mana pot. Alright, let's start over here. We're kind of spent on health right now. See if I can kill this guy real quick before we gotta heal. But yeah, I love Feral Druid. I can't wait to play Feral Druid on Fresh. I don't think that I'm gonna be doing like 1-hour grinding sessions on a Fresh server on my Feral. So one thing that I've noticed, we did a Fresh simulation with my guild with Frontier, but I did a Dead Mines run at like 18.5, and I'm using the Rested XP guide. So I'm using a questing route, but I stay in Darkshore, right? Teldrassil Darkshore till like 18. And then I come over to Eastern Kingdoms, we do a Dead Mines, and I go from 18.5 to 20. And so I get cat form immediately whenever I go to Red Ridge Mountains. And normally I'd go to Red Ridge at 18.5. And I just don't have cat form. I'm still in like my caster form as a druid. And I realized starting Red Ridge at level 20 makes a huge difference. I'm 1 or 2 levels higher than most of the mobs there while I'm questing. I have cat form. And then it just kind of compounds on top of itself. The XP I get from grinding is huge. Oh, this is the rare, dude. Alright, level 37 Namar. Dude, this is exactly why we grind this spot. And honestly, on hardcore servers, I don't know what the auction house is going to look like, but I think that selling green items, blue items for people's alts while you're leveling might be one of the most profitable places. Okay, here we go. Hopefully the cloak drops. There's a blue cloak or a really good green headpiece that can drop here. Oh, we got the headpiece. That's kind of unfortunate. I actually got lucky enough to find a leather helmet that has the same stats as this nearly. This is really good caster headpiece, though. I could even make 10 gold off of this on the auction house. Imagine getting a level 32 cloth headpiece with all these stats for priest, lock, mage. Yeah, this would be really good. Really good. But we could have got like 10 strength 4 agi cloak. Imagine how sick that would have been. But yeah, Namar the Slayer is probably one of the best rare spawns at this level range. Especially with those items that he drops. An insane cloak and then a really good headpiece that all the casters want. So that's nice. But yeah, I'm pretty sure his respawn is like right at 8 hours. Go look at the Wowhead comments. But yeah, well, the thing I noticed by doing a Dead Mines run on my Fresh Druid and being level 20 whenever I go to Red Ridge for the first time, you just kind of stay 1 or 2 levels ahead of the questing route the whole time. And a lot of times in the past, I'd do a dungeon run and then skip certain parts of Rested XP. But not only are you a higher, 1 level higher whenever you're doing all these quests with Rested XP, just because you do a dungeon. Oh, sick, dude. We got the skinning enchant too. I think this is going to be pretty popular. I think it's like a 1% drop off of the headhunters. Is that what I killed? Yeah, it's like a 1% drop. And you need this for, I guess, skinning Onyxia or maybe skinning the beast. But this is a really popular grind spot. Or at least there's a ton of mobs here. People are always going to kill headhunters. And there's quests for both Horde and Alliance here, so as cool and maybe as rare as this enchant is, I think a lot of people are going to have it. You can maybe get it, sell it on the auction house for a gold or two. So that's really good. But yeah, you get 1.5 levels ahead of the questing route, and you don't skip the questing route. You do the questing route a lot safer. You're killing stuff a lot faster. I'm really excited about that Dead Mines run at 18.5. So the way we did it is we had like a guild fresh simulation, and everybody leveled their tunes for 21 hours, right? And we had Bobka and Ompi on a duo, and everybody else was solo. But we were just trying to get a feel or an idea of where everybody's going to be so that we could group up and do dungeons. And so, like I said, that level 18.5, if I can get a Dead Mines run going before I start questing in Red Ridge, like any amount of time that I can spend in a dungeon before cat form is huge, bro. Just because Druid is so poor 1 to 20. I'm just spamming Wrath the whole time. If I can get carried for a level and a half inside of a dungeon, I would much rather quest in the open world with cat form than spamming Wrath over and over. It was just much faster. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this fresh coming up. I think we're going to look back on this fresh as one of the most fun times we've ever had. It'll be similar to that Road to Ragnaros event that we did. I don't know if anybody, that rings a bell to anyone or watched alongside that event. That to date, I think, was the most insane fresh I've ever played on. But I did a duo with Cargos, and we were leveling Druid Hunter. And don't get me wrong, bro. Druid getting carried 1 to 20, 1 to 30 with a Hunter is insane. But if I could somehow... My favorite thing about Fresh is solo leveling a Druid. And so it was kind of sad that 30 to 60, whenever Druid was really fun, I was in a duo. And so, I mean, it was good, but I don't feel like we maximized our duo potential. And whenever I'm solo leveling a Druid, first of all, level 20 plus is super fun. It gets really good, you know, between like 28 and 43. 43 was the first time I hit a brick wall, but 28 to 43 are some of the most fun levels. I feel like I can keep up with a lot of the speedrunner Andes just because Druid is so efficient after level 20. First of all, I got 30% movement speed with Feline Swiftness. And you got to level in the Feral Tree, 100%. Anybody that goes Omen of Clarity, man, they're cracked out of their mind. Or they haven't seen the light yet. But I feel like I can keep up with some of the best just because I get Feline Swiftness at 20. And the way, you know, that I speed level on a Druid, it's not like I'm pulling 2 or 3 mobs at a time. On Hunter, you're always in combat. Feral Druid is just mob to mob to mob to mob, as you can see here. Which is, it's enjoyable. For long playing sessions, it's the way to go, in my opinion. As awesome as it would be to be, you know, like a Picasso or a Bob Ross, just a master at your class and making Hunter look really good. It's fun to just run around on a Feral Druid and be a beast mob to mob. Oh wow, we got another skinning enchant? Yeah, there's no way that this thing's worth any type of money. 10 minutes in and we get 2 skinning drops. I mean, I think that's just super lucky, but imagine how many people come through here. They're gonna get that same exact recipe like crazy. And I mean, people are gonna get this item, but do you know how many people are gonna be leveling? Everyone's gonna want a green headpiece. Everyone's gonna want that blue cloak if it drops. Namara is really the moneymaker here, I think. The other thing is, too, like, these mobs are pretty easy. As you can see on my Druid, I'm destroying these mobs at 35. Let me see what my rings look like. Agi Int, Strength Agi, Agi Stam, Strength Agi. My gear is actually not terrible. It's pretty good. Agi Stam, Monkey Shoulders. What else do we have? Agi Stam, Strength Agi Stam. Yeah, I mean, I'd say my gear's pretty decent, actually, for this level range. But 35 Druid's just kind of chewing through this area right now. We got another gray item. How many gray items is that? 3? Keen Axe, Hefty War Axe, and Large War Club. So we got a gold and gray items so far. And a lot of times, I don't think that I'm grinding this for gold necessarily. The cloth drops are nice. Like I said, maybe you get that Namar drop. This might be the #1 reason why you choose to grind over here. There is 1 or 2 quests for both Horde and Alliance here. And so maybe while you're questing in this area, maybe you just decide to grind here for an hour. We haven't got any type of health potions from these guys yet. We did get 2 mana pots so far. I'm getting a little bit of cloth. I don't know if you ever go out of your way to grind cloth for your own first aid or to do all the cloth turn-ins. Like, cloth is pretty cheap to buy on the auction house if you're able to. Okay, we got a chest here as well. That's nice. That makes the farm a little bit better. I think this outside area is really good to farm. Like I said, even if 1 or 2 other people are here, which they probably will be, since this will be like a fairly contested area with questing, maybe even the cave would be more interesting. I don't really want to mess with the shadow hunters. I don't really want to go inside. Let's see what's inside this chest. Two lesser mana pots and a bunch of useless food. We're getting like raw gold from these guys as well. Oh, did you guys see if there were any fishing pools? We can look over here and see if there's some fishing pools to go to. Yeah, I don't know if there's any fishing pools inside of here. I can try and think, what's the most dangerous thing? What's the most dangerous area on my questing route for my Feral Druid? So I'm actually doing something interesting here. I'm going to have like mob taggers, 1 to 5. Hopefully I'm going to have 2 or 3 mob taggers from levels 1 to 5. Once I get out of the starting zone, hopefully I have a hunter that's like level 5 or 6. That follows me from 5 to 10. And then I've got another hunter that's going to be leveling to 12, and then he's going to meet up with me in Darkshore. And honestly, I think he'll be 12 about the same time that I am as a druid, even with some mob tag help. And so it's going to be pretty exciting, man. It makes druid level the fastest. The thing I love about maining a druid is in my head at least, I compete with all the other druid players, and there's not that much competition. And so it's cool. I feel like I can be in the thick of things. Now, if I was playing an AoE mage, pushing a speed level of warrior, literally any other class but druid, you get some big names that you'd have to feel like you're in the same pool with. But the great thing about druid is if I'm competing with other druids and leveling speed on a fresh server, if you have a tag, druid is so poor 1 to 20. If you have a little bit of assistance, a little bit of help, you're going to cruise past everybody else. So I'm going to have this hunter level to 12 and meet up with me in Darkshore. And the scariest time, I think for most classes, the average level death is like level 14. Because 1 to 20, 10 to 20, even for most classes, struggle the most. They don't have any abilities. The way the game scales at that point, like the mobs hit pretty hard starting, just outside of the starting zone. And so having a hunter carry, not only is it going to speed up that 12 to 18 process while I'm in Darkshore, but it's going to keep me super safe. Level range, it's normally super dangerous. So we're going to get a carry to 18.5. Then we end up doing that Dead Mines run. We hit 20. And then I think while I'm in Dead Mines, that hunter's going to try and hit 14 and then finish Red Ridge with me. Red Ridge, then back to Darkshore and do Southern Darkshore. So once this is all said and done, I'm hoping by the time I'm like 20... Let me think. After I do Red Ridge and Darkshore, after the Dead Mines run, I'll probably be 22. And I think by the time I'm 22, I don't know that there's going to be another Druid that's level 20 at that point, which is kind of sick to think that you got like a 2-level lead. And then once you're 22 and you're into Ashenvale and you have cat form and you're moving at 30% movement speed, I'm in cat, like it obviously compounds on top of itself, right? And even then I'm still going to be behind like some of the fastest hunters, some of the fastest speedrunners. There'll probably be a couple layers out there. But I think I'm actually going to run into a little bit of competition because I'll be leveling so fast for a Druid with a little bit of assistance. It's cool, though. I'm going to be in this leveling pack that I've never been a part of. I never get carried 1 to 20. I never get any type of help. And so I'm curious to see, like, the caliber of players. I think Ompi, Ompi and Bobka are raid lead, guild lead for Frontier for this fresh hardcore server. They're doing a duo with Warrior and Rogue. And oh my gosh, I was in Duskwood, I think at 25? Maybe it was 28 they came over. They were literally one-shotting things. They were one-shotting things as duo. As they ran by, a literal wrecking ball. And so it's kind of cool. I think with this bit of help, I'm going to be able to keep up with them. You know, it's the only reason I'm able to do dead mines at 18.5 with that duo is because I'm getting carried 1 to 18. Like, Druid is so rough. So, you got to take that into account, too. Not only is my Druid getting to 18.5 faster than all the other Druids with a little bit of a carry, then I do a Dead Mines run early on. And we were looking at it, too. Do I have it on this guy? Dude, the Dead Mines reward is like a 11 Agi, 5-stam chess piece. And I didn't replace it till, like, level 50. It was unreal, dude. If this guy had execute, I think it was dead. It was unreal. So the chess piece is insane. You got to realize, too, other Druids aren't going to be able to do a Dead Mines run that fast. They're not going to get in a Dead Mines group that early. Like I said, I'm not questing, spamming Wrath in the open world. Now, all of a sudden, I've got cat form a little bit faster, which is huge. So, I mean, just a little bit of help goes a long way. And it's probably similar to life, man. Like, if you get a tiny bit of a head start, it just snowballs on top of itself, right? Like, being married into money. Or, sorry, born into money or something. Yeah, even married into money. It's stupid, man, how much wealth you could attain in the short amount of time that you spend here on this earth, man. It's unfair. It really is. And that's how it feels to get boosted. It's really unfair. But because it's unfair, all things considered, it's going to be really fun to play and really fun to watch, I think. And so, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this fresh. It should be a good time. So we're trying to kill Ragnaros in under 7 days. I think I'm going to be able to hit 60 in less than 4 days played. I need to go through the route again. I almost want to do like another speed level. I think I'm going to practice whenever the PTR comes out. I'll do like a 1 to 60 run. I don't think that they're going to let you level to 60. Even if they did, it wouldn't be bad for practice sake. But I don't think that I'm going to have the chance to level to 60. We'll see. I think it's going to be level capped, but you never know. Who really knows? I like how these mobs have net. And if you were to pull like an axe thrower, the axe thrower will run out of range. And so I always love whenever mobs' abilities complement each other. Alright, 22 minutes in. What do we start out with? 36 gold, 40. We've almost got a gold and raw silver. We still only have 3 gray items. These mobs aren't hard to kill at all. Like I said, at 35, this is really cozy. I might be over-leveled for whenever you quest here. I think normally, like the RXP route, will send you here at like 33, 34. 35 is really cozy right now. Except whenever you're fighting at level 35 with a 35, right? But luckily, I think there's only one mob, the headhunter, that is in the level range to hit level 35 anyways. Yeah, we were talking about the longevity of this hardcore server coming out. And how maybe some of the tourists are going to show up and then they're not going to be here. Everybody thinks hardcore is going to die. It's been really exciting to see, man, all the big streamers come in and bring their entire communities to play hardcore with them. But a lot of my friends, or maybe a lot of the doubters, are just, you know, hardcore's a fad, it's going to pass. I'm really curious to see how it rolls out. I'm really curious to see how long some of these big guys stick around. I'm interested to see how soon it is that they come back once they stop. I think there's going to be another Vanilla Fresh. Maybe at the beginning of 2024, they're going to do some type of Vanilla or Psalm 2. I know they said they don't want to call it Season of Mastery, but it'll be some type of Vanilla server. And I definitely will play it. I'll 100% be playing like a new Classic Fresh for sure. But I'm curious how often people revisit hardcore. And people say it's going to die, it's going to be a fad, it's going to be dead. Dude, for me personally, I'm going to be here no matter what. And I'm excited to see how far I take this. Because in the past, I played Classic. You know what's funny? I quit the first week of AQ to play hardcore. And then, you know, hardcore got old after a while. You got to take a break. TBC comes out. We play TBC for a couple months. And then we come back to hardcore. And then you need a break from hardcore. Oh, Wrath comes out. We play Wrath for a couple months. And then we come back to hardcore. And so there's always been one thing that I came back to. And yes, I did have to take breaks, but I've never came back to TBC. I never came back to Wrath. I never came back to Classic whenever I quit the first week of AQ. I didn't even do Nax because I was having so much fun with hardcore. And so I look at all this stuff, and everybody says it's a fad. I really think I'm going to be here, dude. I think that I'm going to play these hardcore servers for a long time. I think this is like my most ideal vanilla experience. Is it perfect? No. Is it painful and punishing? Yes, yeah. It's not the most ideal world, but the thing is, I don't think you're ever going to get a perfect vanilla WoW. But it's the closest thing. That's one thing that I've noticed since we started playing, and I think it's why I continue to play hardcore, and I think it's why so many new players have such a good time with it. It's the closest thing to maybe what I remember or what my expectation was whenever Classic was re-released in 2019. And I think because of that, I'm going to continue to play hardcore for a long time. This is my ideal vanilla universe, the way I interact with the game. But you know what's crazy? That's with solo self-found rules, right? That's with no trading, no grouping, no auction house, mailbox. Now all of a sudden, if they do a real hardcore server, which there's a lot of speculation that they're not going to have any rules because, one, it's too hard to regulate. It's a bit of work for Blizzard, and I just don't know if they're going to do it or not. So it's crazy. Am I still going to enjoy this game with the regular trading auction house? Probably some type of boosting system in the game. I don't know, man. That'll be interesting to see. I gotta say, it's gonna be a fresh take. If I had to play solo self-found for another 3 years, 3.5 years at this point, I don't think I would last this long. I think I would actually move on from it a little bit sooner rather than later. I think I'll revisit solo self-found eventually if there's no SSF rules on the real server. But I gotta say, man, I'm really excited about playing with no rules. I hope they don't have very many rules. Okay, so we got 3 healing potions and a greater healing pot. It's actually huge, and some heavy stone in here. Not that the heavy stone's like super exciting, but maybe I can get some gold from it if I were to throw this on the auction house. This is the first time that picking up chests has felt really good. I've done some grinding sessions beforehand, but I've never gotten this greater healing potion. So even this is a level 21 pot, and what, I'm level 35, and we still got 3 of the other healing potions, which require level 12. I wish that the potions that they dropped at this level range was a little bit higher. It seems like it should be. Oh, there we go. We got another greater healing pot, back to back. That's huge, actually. So that's a big benefit of grinding here, is just picking up potions. If you don't have fishing, or... I wonder how expensive healing pots are going to be on the auction house. Are people actually going to farm? Like, make a killing with healing pots? Maybe they will. Everybody's going to have healing pots. We were talking to there's an opportunity for you to walk around in some of these starting zones, or any zone for that matter, and you can slash yell, you know, whatever your shtick is. I want to sell 4 greater healing pots. Or maybe you have multiple ranks of healing potions. And everybody jumps to you, right? They all whisper you like, oh yeah, dude, I don't have any healing pots right now. I need healing pots. I'm not near an auction house or a mailbox. I'm questing over here. So you show up, you know, with your trench coat, and you're like, yeah, brother, I got those healing pots for you. And you bust open the trench coat, and hey, man, I see it's your melee. I've got this elixir of agility. Also got superior defense, since you're taking all these headshots. I've got elixir of fortitude. Maybe I've got some scrolls. Oh, by the way, I have this green weapon laying around. I see it's an upgrade for you, you know. And so it's kind of cool. I think there's an opportunity for you to be your own Antonio Preli. You can walk around in some of these zones and sell your wares. And so, yeah, man, I'm excited to maybe see some people do that on the real servers. But you're playing in a universe where it actually matters, right? You're in the, if you die in the open world at Witherbark Village at level 35, damn, bro, you lost 48 hours played. Two days played, maybe. There we go, we got a Jade. And so all of a sudden, yeah, you might buy some potions. You might buy some scrolls and maybe a weapon upgrade from some random guy. So, but it all starts with the health pots. It all starts with, oh yeah, dude, I need a health pot. And then you just score on them big time. Oh, I wonder, I was gonna say we could do this farm, Gortesk farm, but that's for the AoE mages. You're never gonna be able to farm that area unless you're a mage. I swear there's no use. We got another lesser mana potion. Dude, we got all kinds of, I think I got a stack of lesser mana pots already. Maybe silk cloth. We already got 50 silk cloth. That's pretty good. So let's imagine I've got a feral druid that I'm going to be leveling on fresh. What are my goals? What do I want to achieve? I gotta say, because my druid, you can't normally see his gear. I'm always a cat or bear form. A certain aesthetic or like a weapon doesn't really. I'm not really looking forward to getting certain items out of raids. If I was a hunter, I'd be excited about Rock Dalar, Benediction for a priest. You know, those are achievable, badass items that you can get at some point. But as a druid, what are my goals at 60? One thing that the role that I've always enjoyed is kind of like being an enabler. Like allowing people to enjoy and play the game. I guess you can be an enabler in a lot of ways. When I was growing up, I was kind of the instigator in my friend group. I don't know if that's the same as enabling, but I do. I like people. The idea with tanking is that you allow people to play the game. And whenever you join somebody's group or somebody plays with you, you kind of want to leave an impression on them. And so tanking isn't always the sexiest role. You know what I mean? If you're a tank, yeah, you're just another tank. Oh, and you're a bear? Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'd rather have a warrior, right? That's what people say all the time. But if you can leave a good impression on people, you're not able to pump. Maybe I could be a really good DPS, and people, most of the time, all the good DPS players, they end up getting killed. They're not able to pump as hard as they can. They always pull threat. So it doesn't even matter if you're a big damage dealer. But if you're a really good tank, and you allow warriors to just go ham in 5-mans, or even a raid for that matter, like a lot of times, what's the #1 problem that you always have with your tank? They can't hold threat. The DPS pull aggro and they die. Obviously in hardcore that's a different story, but yeah, the impression I want to leave with people as a tank is to allow them to play the game. Whether we're doing 10-man Ubers runs, we're doing a 40-man MC, maybe we're doing ZG. I want people to be able to pump. And I think early on there's going to be, yeah, I got Gordon Ramsay, there's a feral druid. that puts out insane threat, and warriors just can't keep up with the amount of threat that a feral druid needs with Mandrill Crowd Pummeler at the beginning of a game. But another feral druid can, you know, in bear form, just by popping his own Mandrill Crowd Pummeler and climbing the threat table. So it'd be really fun to have Gordon in my group and have him excited, you know, that he can maybe get some 100 parses on a hardcore server because his tank is so good, you know. So that's really my goal whenever it comes to end game and what I want to achieve and playing in a group, because at the end of the day, with hardcore, a lot of it is focused on you. It's just a solo experience, and I think sometimes I forget or I lose sight on the fact that we are playing an MMO, and there is another aspect to playing the game, and I think the biggest one for me is reputation. I care about my reputation on the server. I care about the interactions I have with other players, and the great thing is the tank, or maybe a healer even, depending on how you play, benefits everybody in the group. If you're a terrible tank, well, you may not be known for very long anyways. You might just die off early. But I think people are going to get good or bad reputations, no matter what role they are in these dungeons. But yeah, so I don't want to achieve a certain amount of gear. I don't even really care about like a Hand of Sulphurus on a Boomkin spec on my main druid, right? I just want a tank, and then I want that in-game experience to enable my alts. I want that in-game experience to allow me to gold farm, level other alts, maybe boost my other alts if I could in dungeons, play the auction house a bit, set up some alt characters for GDKPs and stuff. I know that's a hot topic and a buzzword nobody likes. Everybody thinks it's the devil. But I think it'd be interesting to do GDKPs on a one life server. No one thinks it's going to be possible. But people are saying that early on, and it's like, I feel like it's a cop-out. Like, oh, imagine doing GDKPs on a hardcore server. They're going to happen, no matter what. So let's not pretend and act like they're not going to be there. And if they're going to be there regardless, then I kind of want to be involved with it as well. If it's going to be a thing, let's go in full steam ahead. And I mean, okay, I didn't see this headhunter. I think she executes, right? Yeah, this could be scary. If I'm playing any other class, I swear, like, even like Rogue can handle this pretty easily. Maybe they just disengage, or they might even be able to kill this headhunter without taking any more damage. I feel like I'd have to health pot, or warrior, I'd be in trouble. Got net and everything else. The Druid is so cozy. Druid is the best melee class, I swear. I swear, man. But I do think that being involved in those GDKPs, right? I'm streaming and everything. I think it's going to be some of the most interesting stuff. It'll be like bleeding edge content. Unfortunately, GDKPs are like the most exciting stream content sometimes. Like whenever it comes to raid logging and showing up to MC, do I really want to do Molten Core a couple times a week on alts and just kill the boss and get the gear? People like the prize pools. People like... I think they like the randomness of the groups. A lot of times GDKPs aren't very random. There's only 3 or 4. Maybe buyers, pure buyers. Most people are carries, or it's a pretty solidified friend group. But I think people will be interested to see GDKPs go on, just because there's the potential for people to wipe. There's some potential for someone to come join in grief. And so I almost feel like a slave to the system. It's just, I think it's going to be some of the best 60 content, man. I think it's going to be best in-game content. I don't really care about morals or ethics or what's right for the server. People say all the time, Blizzard's going to ruin the hardcore server. They're going to mess it up somehow. They're not going to do the right rule set. And I always say the player base is going to ruin it. The player base is going to ruin the server for you. Don't blame it on Blizzard. It's going to be you and me that ruin the server. But no matter how pure I try to keep the gameplay experience, because I want it to be a better server experience for everybody, somebody else is just going to end up ruining it. And so I think that we just need to push the limits, man. I think with One Life, I don't really want to see a crazy rule set, and I want to see how well One Life Death equals Delete affects gold farming, affects mage boosting, affects the GDKP system, affects inflation, affects raid progression from raids that are top of the server. What if the main raid wipes and they lose, you know, 3/4 of their raid that night? And maybe they have some alts, but all of a sudden a raid that was top of the server in front, they get an entire server reset. And so I want to see how One Life affects all these things. But I'm not worried about playing the game ethically or keeping the game's best interest in mind. I mean, at the end of the day, it's MMO. I think you should play it the way that you want to. But it is kind of weird because I am a streamer. Sometimes you should think about those things. Maybe you do feel like you influence the game. And streamers definitely do influence the game, depending on how many people you have that watch and follow you. Your actions in game 100% can affect how people experience it. And I think that goes to show just with how hardcore was made in the first place, with Solo So Found. And Cargos was really the only community member that had multiple hundreds of people watching him, up to 1,000 people on a lot of streams. And you really shaped a community. And I think that's the power you have as an influencer. But like I said, regardless, I don't think it's up to me to save the player base. I don't think it's up to me to play the game morally or ethically, or I think you should just play the game however you want. I hear the argument all the time with griefing, right? Well, Blizzard shouldn't allow griefing in the game. Griefing should be okay because it's how it works in the game. If Blizzard doesn't like it, they should fix it. They shouldn't ban the griefers, and I actually agree with that a lot. They should fix it to some degree. I don't even think they should ban for griefing. I think it's a missed opportunity for the server to take care of itself. And we saw that with the hardcore community. There's this HC Defense group of players that did take care of the community. They took care of their own players, their own levelers, and I think whenever God gets involved, Blizzard gets involved and starts banning people for petty griefing, I think there's a difference between griefing and maybe harassing someone that is live streaming and you're just constantly hovering over them and tagging all their mobs while they're leveling, like just not letting them play the game. I think you take action on that, but just griefing in general, you can't monitor it, you can't police it, because as soon as you police one, you're gonna have to police them all, and Blizzard's just not gonna do that. So regardless, I'm really looking forward to this One Life experience. I think it's gonna be like no other. It's gonna be something that we've never played before. And Road to Rag was a community event that we put together. It was the first time hardcore ever played on a fresh server to begin with, right? Well, a lot of us are fresh Andes that started and played hardcore to begin with. We always wanted to play on a fresh server, not even for the prospect of raiding or doing in-game content, but everybody just wanted to start over. Oh wow, look at that. Archer's Buckler of the Bear. We got 48 silver there. We got a couple heavy leather, a gold bar, silver ore. We didn't get any health pots, but that seemed like a really big chest. That was nice. That was a good chest. But Road to Rag was the first time the hardcore community ever got to experience a fresh server, a new start. And we'd never done 60 content before then, so we did 60 content there too. Kind of lost my train of thought on where we were going with this. Oh yeah, so we've kind of done the whole fresh thing and like in-game experience, but I even think this experience is going to be completely different than Road to Rag. If it's legitimized, there's 20, 30, 40 times more people playing. If it's an official server, legit hosted by Blizzard whenever you die. You know, it's no Soul of Iron buff anymore. There's no people griefing on our server to intentionally disrupt gameplay. And it's cool to disrupt gameplay if you have one life as well, but it's lame whenever you have multiple lives, right? And people playing in this community game mode, they're like, oh, well, you got me. You killed my character. You died, 50, 60 times up to this point, but you killed me this one time. Yeah, I'm going to go and delete. It's super cringe. It's kind of a weird experience. So I think it's going to make even the griefing more exciting, man. We're on a level playing field with everybody, which is cool. Oh, you know what? I didn't show my XP bar this whole time. It's actually really unfortunate. I don't remember what we started at. Not that it really matters. I'm 35. I think I had rested from like right here. So maybe... yeah, this might be like 3 hours a level. What does it say? I'm getting 18,000? Yeah, like 3.5 hours per level. If you were to just grind here. It's not amazing, but I mean, whenever you're just grinding mobs for an hour, what do you expect? Nice, another large war club. I don't think this is the best spot to farm. Other than Namar, it's not a terrible spot to grind. On a 35 feral druid, the nice thing about this is there's no downtime. There's no searching for mobs. I'm not having to sit and drink at all. The mobs aren't that difficult to kill. Yeah, man, this is cozy. This is a cozy farm spot. Yeah, more grays. That one's only worth 10 silver. The gray weapons are always the best. They vendor for so much. We got quite a few gray weapons though. Yeah, the gray armor is always the worst. Well, what do you guys think in the comment section? Would you grind this spot? I really think only for the Namar rare is why it's worth it. Like if you're spending an evening, if you got, you know, 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. to grind for some reason before work, you're not doing anything else. Maybe you get your rare scanner up. This wouldn't be a bad spot to farm, man. Alright, we got double axe thrower on us. We'll try and get some heals in. I think it's less damage dealt to me if I let this guy just throw. Maybe not. I'm dodging like crazy. Not that it really matters. A lot of times, though, whenever mobs have like a shadow bolt ability or even like a ranged ability, we'll see a lot of archer NPCs. They attack really slow. It's actually better to keep them at range. They do less damage overall than if they're meleeing you. Alright, down to the last 15 minutes. This is good. Got plenty of inventory space for these 1 hour grind sessions too. I gotta say, man, Blizzard's really been killing me with the PTR recently. Everybody kind of assumed it would be out already, and now there's like no hope for this thing coming out. Trial of the Grand Crusader releases on Thursday, and no one thinks it's gonna come out this week, so we'll see what ends up happening with it. Let me keep this guy ranged for a second. This is kind of scary. And please die. Alright, not even close. But yeah, they've really been killing me. This is like a huge buzzkill. Somehow Blizzard always misses the hype window. Whenever things are going well, or got this huge snowball effect with all these streamers playing hardcore, all the communities playing hardcore. Because I mean, at the end of the day, man, hardcore is not the most popular thing in the world. It's fun to play with one life, and I think it's way more cool because of the community involved with it. But man, how does Blizzard always miss this massive hype window? I mean, the hype will come back, but yeah, I'm pretty deflated at the moment. The problem with them taking so long to release this was people they die on a character. It takes even me 4 weeks to level 1 to 60, Monday through Friday, 8-hour streams. Like, to level a new character, it takes about a month. And for anybody else that's normally working, it is probably the same time, right? It takes a month, 2 months to level a character to 60. So people have just like lost motivation, or they're just waiting. Look at that BKP Sparrow Small Bore. It's cool every once in a while. I find like these random green items I've never seen the name of. I was like seeing new items in game. But yeah, man, it's a huge investment to level another character, and so everybody's like waiting for the PTR to come out, and no one's re-leveling. Blood sales Bloodseal and Hydrax are kind of slowing down. I don't know. I mean, we don't even have like a official hardcore release date either. So yeah, needless to say, some of the hype is dissipated at this point. And not that it's all about hype, but man, how does Blizzard always miss this window? Feels bad. Feels kind of bad. Yeah, I should have just re-rolled and started a new character. I didn't think that it was going to take this long. I think I played my cards wrong and assumed the PTR was going to be out, dude, honestly, 2 weeks ago. And here we are. I don't even think it's going to come out this week because, like I said, Trial of the Grand Crusader's coming out in Wrath, and it'll probably come out the week after. I don't know, maybe we'll get surprised and it'll come out on Tuesday this week. I highly doubt it, but maybe. Maybe so. Have we had any crazy drops though? We had the rare spawn here, and then I got 2 greens. 1 green from a regular mob, and then I got a green out of the chest. And we got a jade drop. I got 2 greater healing potions. Yeah, not bad so far. Maybe some items I would throw on the auction house if I really wanted to. I'm not just gonna vendor this stuff, right? Can make some gold on the auction house. Nothing you probably wouldn't find at other grind spots. I gotta say, it's not the most amazing loot table. I gotta say, 65 silk cloth's pretty good. You're not always farming humanoids, and so, I mean, 65 silk is worth. I do like that the witch doctors go down pretty fast. I wish all these mobs were witch doctors. There we go, we got another greater healing potion. See, in 1 hour of farming, we end up getting 3 greater healing pots. It's huge, man. That's huge. Like I said, I'm curious to see how expensive healing potions are gonna be on a real server. Like, if you actually need to go out of your way to farm them because they're so expensive. Or if you never really need to take it into consideration because you just chain buy them off the auction house. The thing, everyone's gonna need them though, man. Like, yeah, healing potions are gonna be in crazy demand, I feel. Yeah, we got 2 skinning recipes. I think this is going to be oversaturated. Probably sell these for like 50 silver or gold. I mean, how many people actually need this skinning skill enchant? Probably try and sell it to the people that try to resell them. I don't get excited about sitting on the auction house, buying out all the recipes of one recipe, and then selling it for like 5, 10 gold. I know that's like huge profits, but I'd rather go play the game. I'd rather do something else than play the auction house that way. It's a full-time job to play the auction house, man. To play it well. I never really got excited about the AH in that sense. I think that's where people make a lot of money, is whenever they buy out certain recipes and then they are the only one posted for like 24 hours and they sell it for 10 times the price that it normally would go for, just because somebody desperately needs it then. I think one of the easiest ways is just selling mats on raid night, right? Tuesday nights, where most people raid. I wonder when people are going to raid for hardcore. I guess it'll be the same thing like Tuesday nights on reset. No reason why the raiding schedule would be any different for your main raids being on a Tuesday. Especially if we can do AQ20s, some ZGs every 3 days, only every 3 days. Probably stick with a Tuesday night raid schedule. Yeah, I'm excited for it all though. It's gonna be such a fun experience. Such a fun experience. I think I'm gonna look back on this as some of the most fun I've ever had playing World of Warcraft. Which, I mean, Who doesn't get excited about that? I think this is the closest thing to me going back in time and playing vanilla WoW with all the knowledge I have. Because I've been playing hardcore for like 3 years now. 3.5 years ever since it started. And I've just got a ton of knowledge, and I think more than anything, it's kind of cringe to say this, but I've got a lot of experience, especially with Druid, on how to survive in the open world. I think I'm going to do really well and have a lot of characters at 60, but new people that come in that just don't know like the ebb and flow of the NPCs, they really struggle to get to 60, and you've seen it with all the big streamers. A couple streamers have pierced the veil the first time, but then even they get stuck in the shadow zone after a couple runs. And not to say that I don't. I think this guy's a bot. I saw him here earlier. We should look at it. We should look at how he quests, just to see if he's a bot or not. Maybe not. He's in the guild Tempest Guard. Hold up. Nah, I think he's good. I don't want to accuse everybody of being a bot. But yeah, you've seen a lot of people peel over, struggle. I think it's my in-game knowledge. It's not even just the experience with the ebb and flow of the world, but I know so much. I've quested through all these zones. The least I know about the game is the level 50 to 60 area, because I'm not there that often, in all honesty. You quest through there once, and then you move on from it. But I've seen a lot of death clips as well. Wiki always hosted F's in chat, and so I saw a lot of people make mistakes. Oh, wow, there's somebody else here. Somebody else here at 35. I've seen a lot of people make mistakes, and I've learned from those mistakes. Let's see if we can find that chest respawn. Respawn somewhere with these last 5 minutes we have in this hour. But yeah, I think I'm going to do well on re-leveling multiple classes. I think overall just surviving the game is going to be really fun. I think some people are going to get unmotivated after leveling 2 or 3 characters, 4 or 5 characters and dying. I think some people are going to lose motivation to continue playing on the hardcore server. Maybe they'll revisit it in the future, but yeah, I think some people are just going to never make it to 60. That isn't a bad experience on itself, because whenever you do finally get to 60, it's a big deal, right? But I'd like to hit 60 and play the game, do the most content, especially because I'm streaming. Like, it's a troll to just be doing the leveling content. Everybody's going to be doing leveling content. If we can survive and have a couple characters doing in-game stuff all the time, we can satisfy, you know, all the in-game content, all the leveling content that we need to do. We can do a lot of leveling challenges. I think that'll be really popular. I mean, similar to what we've done over the years. There's a lot of things I haven't done while leveling with hardcore, so I think there's still a lot to experience, a lot to rediscover with this One Life server, even though I've been playing for so long. One of the runs I'm excited about is leveling a shaman and only equipping gear that I fish up. And so we're gonna do like these long 24-hour fishing sessions of each tier, see what kind of gear we get, and then just level for 10, 15 levels until we get to the next tier. So there's 4 tiers of fishing, and the first tier you fish up like level 12 to level 22 greens, and then 22 to 32, and then 32 to 42. Like 42 to 50 type deal. So there'll be an opportunity to do these long fishing streams, and it does seem kind of painful for like a normal player, but because we do it on stream, it's a lot more interesting doing it on stream. If I just did it for my own personal enjoyment, I don't think I would do this challenge, but I think it'll be interesting on stream. So that'll be like one character that I can level with. I talk about this all the time, but I'm excited about making trophy characters. I'm excited about getting a full tier 1 dwarf priest. I think it looks badass. It's iconic. Everybody, if you're priest on ally, you gotta go dwarf just for the fear ward racial. And a full tier 1 priest looks amazing, man. And that'll be one idea of a trophy character. Another cool idea is I got Soul Thrays on my Paladin recently. And it was one of the most badass Paladins I've ever seen in my life. I got this random blue item that dropped in the Plaguelands. It's a blue BOE headpiece. And it looked like the Dark Knight. And it looked like Batman gone bad. And so I just realized with Soul Thrays, this badass headpiece, I created a narrative. I had this... Alright, neither of these guys execute. I had this trophy character. He looked cooler than, you know, at level 59 in BRD. He looked a lot cooler than a lot of other 60 characters. And so I kind of want to farm these epic items that drop off of the last boss on some of these dungeons and create a transmog or a set around these epic items. I think that the quest to getting an iron foe to drop in the first place will be really fun on stream, and then you build a set around it. So that's the idea of this trophy character that I want to create. Alright, and we got a chest with the last minute remaining. Maybe we can just end it here, right at 1 hour. Let's see what we got. Oh, yikes, dude. 1 mana potion, 1 golden bark apple. It was pretty pitiful. Alright, man, that's 1 hour of farming Witherbark Village. Completely uncontested. That wasn't bad, man. Let's go see what we got. We started with like 36 gold, 40 silver. Looks like I got 2 gold and raw silver.
What can I do for you?
We sold 7 grays there for another 2 gold, so we're up to 4 gold here. We can sell some of the food that we got that we're not going to end up vendoring. Let's see what we got left with. What did we farm? I ended up finding 2 greens, 1 green in a chest, 1 green off a mob. It was actually, I feel like I should have found another green or 2 with how much we grinded here. It was kind of unlucky. But the Menar's tribal headdress, I think this will be sold on the hardcore auction house for a lot of gold, like 10 gold at least, 10, 15, 20 gold maybe, for people's alts. I don't think there's going to be endless headdresses sold on the auction house, but you never know. If we would have got the blue cloak, I think it might have even sold for even more just because of how rare it is. But people are always going to be leveling new characters, they're always going to die and re-level, so I think this is like 15, 20 gold, man. I really do. I don't know if I could sell these items on the auction house, but regardless, I could probably get 2 gold for them for enchanting or something. Maybe 1 gold. These 5 stamp, 5 strength isn't bad stats for a shield, but that puts us up to like 5 gold. I'd say I'd sell this for... Maybe we'll just keep this in the corner. We got 2 skinning enchant recipes. I might be able to sell these for gold on the auction house, so another 2 gold. That's 7 gold. And then you just kind of get rid of your jade, your silver, all your raw reagents. Maybe that's 8 gold. And then I got 1 stack of wool and 3.5 stacks of silk. Not bad, man. Not bad. 3 greater healing potions. This was really good. I got a couple regular healing potions. 1 minor mana pot right at the end. And a bunch of lesser mana potions. But yeah, man, overall, not a bad grind spot. You guys should check out Witherbark Village.
See you around.
I think if you're a melee, maybe if you're a warrior, I'd even do this at like 36, 37. Just to feel a little bit more comfy. Some of these guys do net, they do execute. I think Druid made it look a little bit easy. But yeah, man, Witherbark Village, I think it'll be a little bit contested, but I think the best thing about farming this spot is for Namar the Slayer. Either the cloak or the headpiece, that you could probably make a lot of gold from. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next farm video.